Kijk, aan het platte gebergte, dat is de Tafelberg. Achter ons zien jullie de mooiste stad van Zuid-Afrika en volgens sommigen zelfs de mooiste stad ter wereld, Kaapstad. En ik ben hier samen met Geert om het antwoord te vinden op zijn, ja, ik vind toch wel bijzondere vraag.
Ja, is er nog steeds apartheid in Zuid-Afrika?
Ja, en dat soort vragen krijgen we niet iedere dag. Dus daarom hebben we die eruit gepikt. Waarom apartheid?
Nou, dat is wel leuk. 3 jaar geleden, toen ik 10 werd, waren de eerste Zuid-Afrikaanse verkiezingen. En toen is Mandela als president gekozen.
En een bijzondere president, want het was
Ja.
de eerste zwarte president
in Zuid-Afrika.
En die Nelson Mandela is sowieso een bijzondere man, want het was de leider van het ANC die opkwam voor de belangen van de meerderheid, de gekleurde meerderheid. En voordat hij president werd, ja, heeft hij toch het een en ander door moeten maken, want hij heeft 27 jaar gevangen gezeten, waarvan een groot deel op dat eiland.
Robbeneiland.
Precies.
Ik zweer trouw aan Zuid-Afrika. Met die plechtige woorden is Nelson Mandela beëdigd als de eerste zwarte president van Zuid-Afrika.
I, Nelson Mandela, do hereby swear to be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
Iedereen zong de 2 volksliederen van Zuid-Afrika. Het lied dat de blanken altijd zongen en het lied van de zwarte mensen.
Geert, Mr. Mlandu was lid van het ANC. Het ANC, weet je?
Ja, African National Congress.
Oké. Hij was ook heel belangrijk bij de verkiezingen in 1994, toen Nelson Mandela president werd verkozen. Want hij zag er met een aantal mensen op toe dat het eerlijk verliep.
What was the apartheid?
Apartheid was separation between blacks and whites, where whites were oppressing blacks. And then they were forced to stay in townships, which is separate from whites.
But could the children play with each other?
No, that time you couldn't. We were separated from one another. You could not be seen with white children.
So if Geert would like a black girl very much, he wasn't allowed to be friends with her?
It was against the law. You'll be taken to jail.
Yeah?
And prosecuted. Yeah.
Could you do something against apartheid?
When we were in school, what we decided to do is to come to school in a form of resistance, not bringing any books to study. So we came to school the following day without books, and when we arrived, the teachers noticed that we didn't have books, so they had to report it according to the rule of the day. So the police came, and then we were taken to the police station. So when you arrive there, they will beat you. So we experienced that during that time. We stayed there for the whole day.
But nowadays, those strange and absurd things don't happen anymore in schools?
Nowadays, it's so amazing, the sort of thing, there's many things that have changed. I'm now watching children going to school together, black and white, and in schools playing together. That's something I've never enjoyed in my time.
Geert has sent me a question about apartheid. And that's the reason we came all the way from Holland to South Africa. Geert has got some questions for you. He wants to know how it is here in school in South Africa. And hopefully you can give us some good answers. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the difference about black and white in your school?
I think there's no difference because we're all the same. I don't think there's really anything visually different except for the color.
In which language do you get in your class?
We know English as the main language, and Afrikaans we have, it's just like Koza.
Koza?
Yes.
Can you say something in Koza?
Ngubani igama lakho.
Again?
Ngubani igama lakho.
What does it mean?
What is your name?
What's my name? What's your name?
Geert.
Geert.
How do you like the government with Mandela?
Since the Clark kind of wasn't voted in as a president. Mandela's done a lot of changes to South Africa.
There must not be another president, because Mandela is the best president and we all like him.
Do you learn many about history about apartheid?
A long time ago, when white settlers first stepped here and they saw the blacks, because the blacks were here first, and they were racist because they wanted the land for themselves. They didn't want it to share.
If you want to know more about the apartheid, you have to go to the townships, because we learned it from our parents. Because they were there, they witnessed everything, they were part of it. Maybe some of them got hurt by it, so you have to go to them, because we can't give you as much detail as they can.
Okay. Kaapstad, zoals ik al zei, de mooiste stad van Zuid-Afrika. Maar ook die mooie stad heeft minder mooie kanten. Zoals hier in de township, Guguletu, een van de 4 zwarte townships. Ja, en hier ziet het er toch heel anders uit. Mr. Mlandu, you grew up here in Guguletu.
Yes, I grew up here in Guguletu. My father was removed from town and they had to come and stay here in Guguletu. The first time they had to go and stay in another informal settlement, and then from there they were moved to stay in this place in Guguletu. That's where I grew up too.
But if I look around here, was it a nice life here?
Yeah, it's a yes and no answer in that one. The no part, it's not nice to live in this type of a place. You need to be together with other kids, to share with other white children and have the privileges they had and stay with them and be friends. But we didn't get that opportunity. But on the other hand, it's good. It's nice to stay amongst people.
You can see.
You can see, yeah. Always they are always there. You do everything with them.
Okay. Mr. Mlandu, I've heard that when you were a little boy, you wanted to be white. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. You know, you are living in these conditions, and then when you see white people living in better conditions, especially when you are young, you want to be there. You want to do whatever they are doing.
Waarom leven de mensen hier nou nog na de apartheid is afgeschaft?
People haven't got money. They want money. They want to stay in luxury places. They want to stay in town. You cannot afford to go and stay there if you haven't got money. So that's the problem we are having now. We are struggling with having good jobs and having good education and staying in those places.
Although Mr. Mandela is president for 3 years, there's still lots of work for him to do.
Yes, there is still a lot of work to do. But since he came out of prison, there had been changes that are taking place in the country.
Het wachten van de wereld wordt beloond. Zondagmiddag 4:15 plaatselijke tijd verlaat Nelson Mandela de Victor Verster gevangenis. Als een vrij man.
Ja, dat is indrukwekkend, hè, Guguletu? Nou, ik denk waar we nu naartoe gaan, dat zal minstens net zo indrukwekkend zijn. Het is het eiland dat we eigenlijk al een beetje gezien hebben vanaf de berg. de plek waar Nelson Mandela en al die andere politieke gevangenen van de apartheid gevangen hebben gezeten. Robben-eiland.
Ja, hé, weet je wat ik hier ook nog lees? Deze boten, daar zaten ook de gevangenen op die naar het eiland gingen. Ook Nelson Mandela.
Ze zijn op deze boot naar Robben-eiland gebracht.
Ja.
Hello, gentlemen. Mr. Mlanana, you were also imprisoned here on Robben Island.
Yes.
Just like Mr. Mandela.
Yes.
You've been here for 5 years, I
Yes,
understood?
for a period of 5 years.
Yes. And because you were a member of the ANC, that was the reason?
Yes, that was the reason.
What did you do?
They find me in possession of hand grenades RGD5 and F1.
Why did you do that?
The reason for that I was trying to liberate our people who were oppressed by the apartheid government. Cell number 5, that is where our president was living. He spent 19 years in this section. And you can hear at a distance when the warders are opening or locking the doors, you know. And
this was his cell?
It was his cell. Yes, you can sit.
So there was only a table and a bed?
No, you see, the beds were introduced in late 70s. They used to sleep on a floor. You see, they sleep on a floor for a period of 14 years.
Kan je niet voorstellen, een president die 14 jaar op de grond heeft geslapen.
Yes, he was sleeping here for 14 years on the floor.
Did the prisoners sit the whole day in the cell?
We didn't sit the whole day in a cell. They used to open 8 o'clock and then we have to go out. There was a place which we used to call it as a boekgroep. That is where now the prisoners learn carpentry, tailoring and other skills.
And what did Nelson Mandela do when he was here?
Nelson Mandela and his colleagues in this section, they used to go out and work in the lime quarry. They were told that they are going to work for a period of 6 months, you see, but they worked there for a period of 13 years.
What did they have to do there?
In the lime quarry, they had to just to break the stones, nothing else.
Were you allowed to write letters?
To write a letter, you have to stick to family matters. You don't have to talk about politics in your letter. Otherwise, the people who were working in the censor office, they won't send that letter away.
How did the guards treat you?
The warders, some of them were very kind to us. Some of them were very cruel to us.
And could you do something against the guards?
If maybe we didn't like the actions of the warders, what we used to call a hunger strike.
Mr. Mlanana, you were in prison for about 5 years. Could you describe for us the moment you got free?
You know, I was very, very excited. I was very, very happy. But at the same time, I was afraid. I didn't know what is going to happen to me. You know, if you have been kept in prison, you don't know, there are a lot of changes, you know, which has taken place. But I was a little bit afraid that maybe something can happen to me, you see. I was a little bit afraid.
Zo Geert, het waren een paar bijzondere dagen, hè?
Ja.
Eerst een bezoek aan de school, daarna het township. En uiteindelijk dan belanden op Robben-eiland en ook nog eens een keer in de cel van Nelson Mandela. Is niet niks, hè?
Nee.
En als ik jou nou dezelfde vraag, dezelfde bijzondere, maar ook lastige vraag zou stellen die je mij gestuurd hebt. Is er nog apartheid in Zuid-Afrika? Wat zou je dan nu antwoorden?
Nou, het is wel een heel moeilijk antwoord, maar
Ja?
sinds Mandela president is er wel veel veranderd. Alleen er moet nog wel veel gebeuren. Dus als ik zo in die township kijk, dan denk ik dat het nog wel een paar jaren zal duren voordat het goed is helemaal.
Ja, dat heb je mooi gezegd. We gaan onze boot nemen.
Oké.
Ja?
Jo.
Oké.